How do you deal with difficulties in a relationship? What do you do when you have real evidence of a problem in a relationship? Something that goes to the heart and core of the relationship. Something that makes you say to yourself, I don't know if I could stay in this relationship. How do you deal with it? Well, many people involved in a relationship might see warning signs, but rationalize them away. They might see problems which come up which hurt their feelings, which make them feel like this is not a compatible situation. But because they want the relationship, because they've manufactured this desire to, I have to stay in a relationship mentality, they really aren't able to break away. Or they make up reasons why they shouldn't. I call this artificial security at the price of misery. Because what you've done is you manufacture situations to stay in a relationship while you're complaining about the problems in the relationship that you know aren't changing. Now, I'm not talking about a situation where you have a problem and maybe the guy or the girl isn't responding, that you haven't told them what to do, and so they're not changing their behavior. In other words, they're selfish, or they're not appreciative of what you're doing. You're constantly giving, they're constantly taking. But you don't tell them that. You maybe make some passive-aggressive comments, about something that went on, or maybe you get upset once in a while, but you back down. You don't say, this is fundamental to our relationship. I did some things for you, and I'm not being appreciated. Or, you're not taking care of my feelings. You're not being responsive when I need to talk about important things or deal with important issues. You don't address that, so the person can't change. That kind of unhealthy behavior is not helpful to you. I mean, do you feel good about this? Do you feel good about holding in the fact that you're being deprived? I certainly wouldn't. Okay, let's take the situation where you do talk about it. You tell them, listen, you're not considering my feelings, or you don't never want to do what I want to do, or we're unable to communicate effectively because when I want to talk to you, you attack me, or you get defensive, or you don't want to deal with the issue. Well, when you're communicating those things, you're communicating things that you think are fundamental to your happiness, to making the relationship work. If they're not responding, what do you do about that? Are you just going to stay in the relationship and complain to your friends and make excuses? Are you really happy in your relationship? If you're not happy in a relationship, you have to do something about it. There are two things to do. One, communicate and get things on the right path. Or understand that you're misplaced in your belief. Or two, get out of the relationship. I can't tell you how many people come to me and tell me that they have a fundamental problem with somebody who's not doing something that goes to the core of their relationship. They won't communicate. They always yell. They're never appreciative. Whatever those items are, and yet they stay in the relationship. They say, well, when he's not doing that, when she's not doing that, they're really great. I say, that's like saying, when my husband's not raping me, he's really a wonderful guy. That's how ridiculous that sounds. You can't devalue or depreciate your feelings in a relationship. You have to communicate in a way that makes sense, that says, here are my needs. Either my needs are reasonable or they're not. If they're not reasonable, I want you to explain it to me, and maybe I'll understand, and then I'll realize I need to adjust my behavior. Or two, they are reasonable, in which case you need to make some changes. And if you don't make those changes, I can't remain in this situation because I'm unhappy. Do you want to get up every day unhappy? Do you want to get up every day insecure about the relationship? That the person doesn't have enough confidence in you, doesn't love you enough, doesn't think enough of you, that they want to work with you to either communicate or to make the changes you need. If they don't want to make those changes, if they don't want to communicate, have the courage to understand that it is much better to be alone, much better to be separated and looking for another opportunity than to stay in a relationship where you are constantly unhappy, constantly repressing those things which bother you, because they will fill up your gut. They will fill up your heart. They will take over your life and they will change the way you feel. They will change the way you behave. They will change the quality of your life in a way that I know you don't want. That's what's happening.